Hello, Cindy and I are now in Vietnam at a French resort, and I'm going to have my translator say it for you.
Les Hameaux de I'Orient.
Nice French resort about 70 kilometers north of Saigon. This area is a farming community. It's very quiet and peaceful and one of the better areas of Vietnam to relax.
Well, here we are in Cu Chi. Actually, we're in a French resort, probably 5 kilometers from Cu Chi. Cu Chi is kind of famous for all the Cu Chi tunnels that the VC dug during the war. I didn't get a chance to go see them. I'm not interested in climbing down in some skinny little tunnels that are built for small little Vietnamese when I'm a big size, oversized American. So I didn't get over to see the Cu Chi tunnels. But this is a wonderful resort here. It's got a swimming pool. It's kind of out in the middle of farm country. There's no traffic. There's no noise except for some birds. Or last night there was a cricket that must have been the largest, biggest cricket in the world. I think it was right outside my door. And anyways, the food is very good here. It's owned by a French couple. She's actually Vietnamese, and he is French. And when the when the communists came in and took over in 1975, they left and went to France because he was a French citizen. And they stayed there for 40 years. And then they came back here and about 5 years ago, and they started building this resort. I think today, but there's certain priorities, like the military is #1 priority, the government is #2 priority, and the people are #3 priority. And I believe all the real estate and land belongs to the military. And if you have a claim on the land, you can lease the land from the military. But then it's managed, I guess, by the communist government. They set the rules in the legislature and those kind of laws. But we've been here 2 days, and you can see my arm is in a sling. When I was up in U City, I tripped on a curb and fell and hit the concrete. There's no grass or dirt up there. Everything is concrete. And I fractured my elbow, and I put a big laceration in my arm. It took 3 stitches. It was so cold, I was bundled up with sweatshirts and blank jackets and so on. I didn't realize how bad I was bleeding till I got back to the hotel and got undressed, and I bled all night long. Unbelievable. I got blood all over everything. Every towel, I was using towels and everything, it just wouldn't stop. I thought the bleeding would stop, but since I'm on Coumadin, the bleeding didn't want to stop. And in the morning we went to the hospital, and they took an x-ray and found out that it was fractured, and they put 3 stitches in me, which kind of closed up the wound, and still took about 2 or 3 days for it to stop bleeding. I think yesterday was the most successful day yet, where it didn't seem to be bleeding or oozing. It wasn't necessarily blood, but oozing moisture, let's say. I went in the swimming pool yesterday and put a new bandage on afterward. It seemed remarkably well healed. I won't get the stitches out until I get back to America, I don't think. And then we'll have to evaluate whether I have surgery or just put my arm in a cast. Tomorrow we're going to go to Moni, which is a really nice beach resort. Let's see, right now we're probably a little bit north of Ho Chi Minh or Saigon. They still call it Saigon here, but internationally I guess it's totally been recognized as Ho Chi Minh City. But everything says Saigon on it here. As we got off the airport and drove through Saigon and come out here, and we're probably, I don't know, maybe 70 kilometers north of Ho Chi Minh or Saigon City. I was really disappointed in Saigon. I had been told it had all been modernized and cleaned up. was really looking nice. And I thought it was just a dirty old city, to tell you the truth. Trash all over the place. Nothing well kept or maintained. Places that were built 10 years ago haven't been painted since. Just terrible maintenance and upkeep on the property. So I wasn't impressed at all with Saigon or Ho Chi Minh City. And that's why we came up to where we are now, because this is really a nice garden area with swimming pools and orchards and tennis courts, volleyball, nice restaurant. Most of the name on the restaurant or resort is a French name, and a lot of the guests here are French speaking. So there is a couple here from Arlington, Texas. He was actually born in Vietnam about the time of the war, and his parents, her father and his father's side of the family, were all killed by the communists after the war. And he somehow ended up going to the United States and stays there, and he works for some telephone company, Mobiltel or something like that. And they build a lot of the cell tower equipment, and he's here to help coordinate some of the new cell towers they want to put in here in Vietnam. And because he speaks Vietnamese, he's a prime candidate. And he goes to where all the Vietnamese communities are. Nice here. It's probably I'm going to say 80-85 degrees Fahrenheit, and probably 70 degrees humidity. But because this temperature is not that high, it's not really uncomfortable. Just a touch warm, but not uncomfortable. We have air conditioning in the room. In fact, at nighttime we just turn it off and just sleep bare ass naked, and the temperature and everything just balances out. In fact, eventually I ended up pulling a sheet up over me last night. So we're going to leave here. We've changed our course. We're not going to go to Shanghai or Singapore like we planned. It just got too expensive, and we just spent a lot of money buying goods so far. So Singapore's off the list, and I'm not going to put Singapore sling on my bucket list. The Singapore sling at the Raffles Hotel cost $35. So that's just not going to fulfill my bucket list. It's not that important. But another place that's supposed to be really nice is Da Nang. Maybe we'll get some time over to see there. When we leave here, we're going to plan to go up to Shanghai for 2 or 3 days. Quite a bit colder up there. It's probably in Fahrenheit temperatures, I'm going to guess, in the 50s, and maybe down into the high 30s at night. It's a little chilly. Not as bad as the rest of China we were in, though. The rest of China was very cold, and we actually we went to Kunming to see the botanical gardens, which is supposed to be the most spectacular in all of China. Turns out that Kunming is 6,200 feet elevation, and I was really gasping for air. And it was cold, and it was supposed to snow the next day, so we got on a plane that night and flew down to Bangkok. Spent some time in Pattaya, and then 2 or 3 nights in Bangkok, and then flew over here yesterday.
Well, that's enough of our travels here in Southeast Asia. Let's take a look at some of the facilities we have here at this resort.
Well, this is our little hole in the wall for at least one night, maybe 2 nights. We're out in the middle of a agricultural area here. I think this is a banyan tree here. We have a French neighbor down here.
Hello. Hello.
Hi there.
Good afternoon.
Where are you from?
We come from France.
France. Okay.
And you?
California.
California.
Yeah.
It's a longer travel.
Yeah, we've been up through China. We're worked our way down here.
Okay.
So,
California. Okay. Which town?
Southern California, Los Alamitos, not Los Angeles. Or closer to Disneyland, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We come from France. All together, we know all together 4 people, 2 women, 1 man, and me. And we come from south, on the islands of the south coast,
Uh-huh.
and middle Lyon, Montpellier, and Perpignan. So it's all the south, and a big island in the south, near Italy and France, of course.
Okay, yeah.
You know Sardine?
I've never been to Europe.
Okay.
Never
One
been.
time maybe.
Maybe.
If you have a time.
We're going to get a cold beer.
Okay. See you. Okay?
All right.
See you.
See, I saw this place as we're coming in. I saw these volleyball courts. This is an interesting plant. I've never seen anything like this. I don't know if it's a water lily or what.
Looks like a lily.
It looks like it should be down in the water. Well, this is the famous swimming pool here. Oh, no rest too. We gotta find you a cold beer. I like some of this growing at home, man. Different from that. Mine's a little skinnier, I think.
That's probably the same.
Yeah. Cold beer. Is this a golf course out here? Well, there's a peacock, and there's another one over there, and this one they just put a tether on this guy, so he's tied to a ground stake over there. He gets around, but I guess he can get to his food and his water and doesn't bother anybody.
Well, that kind of summarizes our little visit here to, I call it paradise in Saigon, but this French resort was really a lifesaver, chance for me to rest after getting my arm hurt. From here, we're going to go to Moni, which is about 4 or 5 hours drive east to the ocean. Moni is a really nice beach resort with, in the afternoon you'll see 500 windsurfers out there, and almost all the tourists are Russian. They all come down here in the to get out of the cold Russian winter, I guess. And the food was extremely inexpensive. I think we had 2 meals, 2 cocktails, and the whole total bill was like $13 US. So we really liked Moni, but I just wasn't getting around too well over there, so didn't really get any good videos that are worth making a video of. All right, if you like this video and you think some other people are going to go to Vietnam and might want to find this really wonderful resort, I highly recommend going out here. Click on the thumbs up button, and that'll suggest to YouTube that this is a good video that they should promote to other people interested. And if you want to follow some of my other listings, that videos I'm going to be publishing, I'm publishing quite a few of them, at least one a week right now. And so click on the subscribe button and you'll be notified when they're published. And as we say at home, fight on USC.